Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Challenger Casts. I am your host, commentator, shoutcaster extraordinaire, Octavian. And it is good to be back. It is good to be back up on the horse. This is going to be, I think, the second shoutcast since my far too long extended break from YouTube, but I'll get back to that in a second. There is the gold card landing Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike, rather, followed up by the Sonic Wave. Symphony, another gold card, still refusing to flash away, but the Ignite is ticking. He does have to level up. A Dark Passage first. That's actually really big. Flashing now away from the queue. Good thing he held it earlier. He wouldn't have had it there. But like sharks circling around a bleeding fish, red team is hanging near this tower. The bottom lane flash over the wall from Sar. This is just a bloodbath even without any deaths so far. Symphony, having leveled up the Dark Passage first, does not have any way to lock down this Lee Sin, so he's able to simply walk out through the tri-bush. And now we might see red team paying a little bit for their earlier invade. Though to be fair, Aurelia is dangerously low herself, and Alistair with Pulverize in his back pocket is a difficult target to catch. So in the end, nobody is going to go down. Even though a lot of stuff did go down in that particular duel, and oh, that is so sad. Nif hadn't yet soulbound with Backstrix, and so there wasn't that damage available. That might have made the difference in the kill on the Thresh, I'm not sure. Potentially that extra magic damage, if he had gone with the W first. It all depends on what we had seen Backstrix level up first, and poor shoutcaster that I am, I don't actually recall exactly what he went with first, but the reason why I picked this game wasn't the level 1. I am not psychic. I did not see that happening in the future. I did not know that would occur. Rather, the lane matchups in the middle lane. One in particular that I'm interested in casting a game over myself. We've seen Faker pull this one out, the mid lane Aurelia, to counter certain picks. Never against a Twisted Fate, if I recall correctly. Usually he'll pick it up against an Azir as a way to rush down and get all up in the Emperor's face. Nice sidestep from Kakos there. Yasuo top lane is also a very interesting pick. Yasuo doesn't see too much play recently, except as a counter to certain things such as Ezreal mid, which he does do very well against, able to shut down Ezreal's burst with a simple wind wall if placed correctly. Especially during a team fight. A lot of the power for an AP Ezreal does come in through that ultimate, and if it simply disappears before it hits anybody in the enemy team, well, obviously that's not going to do good things for his damage output. As we swap back down to the bottom lane, the one lane I have not yet mentioned. Callista, Alistair, so we're seeing a Ballista lane. I'm the first one to ever make that pun. Against Thresh and Tristana. Now, seeing the reworked Tristana in a game immediately tells me some of Blue Team's game plan, or some of their potential game plan, as young Torrent is coming into the bottom lane. There is no flash or heal available on the Thresh and the Tristana respectively, and that might... Whoa, actually! The burst damage from Tristana picks her up first blood and a double buff flash away from Sunny. What? I'm gonna have to watch that over again. Damage just came from places that I am not sure it should have come from, but in the end, they outplayed the enemy team and they even outplayed me. I was not sure how that went down, but it was impressive, nonetheless. As Heidao continues his jungle clear, not showing as much presence on the map as the Lee Sin, but hey, at least he's not dying and giving up double buffs, so if you're not losing, even if you're not winning, it's better than losing. It's the strategy we're seeing coming up from Heidao, just calm, cool, collected, killing some minions. PvE League of Legends, if you will. So to be fair, in Evelynn skanking power in the early game does not compare too well to Elise Sin's. Nice Alistair combo from Nif onto Sunny, but Sunny's just going right to the backlines with this one. Backstrix is in his sights and will be falling. Symphony picks up that kill as Saru Jassi, that is a difficult name to pronounce, goes down in the mid lane to yet another gank from young Torrent. 5 minutes in, 2 ganks already. That's a pretty good record. And this time he does manage to pick up a kill rather than giving one up. This is a much better showing. And Symphony does land the hook onto Nif. The Flay will be there for just a little bit of extra damage. The Sunny gets some extra DPS in there as well, off of that red buff. That is potentially what made the difference in the 2v2 that we saw, because that was actually a really nice engage from Nif onto Sunny, knocking him against the wall there to guarantee the pulverize. But there was just so much early damage coming out from that true damage. Burn on the red buff. That and the fact that he was still full mana despite harassing all the time. Because of the blue, those buffs are quite nice. It's beneficial to have them, in case that was unclear. Lee Sin going to be walking over a ward once again. We'll see if Sunny and Sufini opt for another 3v2. Last time we saw this situation, it turned out quite nicely for them, but a blue card means that he doesn't have gold card available, and Juju is going to be going down. Juju Muck Muck, whatever the end of his name was. That is a fun name to pronounce. I need to read that again. Where is it? Juju Muck Muck Majuli. Sounds like some sort of tribal name. Oh, knockback from Nif onto Sunny. Will counter the very nice hook from Sufini. That is one of the upsides of Alistar. Even if you're behind, while he can't engage quite as hard because you simply don't have the damage to follow it up, he is a very, very good defensive support. Even if Sufini does land one of those hooks, he's got to make his way through a headbutt and a pulverize, and that is a difficult task. You cannot, in fact, milk those. Hadao doesn't have level 6, though. This is a dangerous tower dive, but it looks like Maokai will pick up the kill. Now, Nif flashing in onto Sunny's going to knock him up, and before he can pull the... Actually, he pulled the lantern while he got headbutted back. That was weird how that interacted, but it still worked out in favor of Sunny and Sufini. And yes, weird is my official professional call on that play. Very weird indeed. Oh, but we have the first destiny of the game. That is the all-important destiny. As Sunny will go down to Backstrix, forced to run in an inopportune direction because of the Twisted Fate. Sufini will fall as well before he can make it to the safety of his turret. And Juju Mok Mok Juli will pick up a kill in the bottom lane, as well as forcing another one into the hands of his AD carry. Always a good thing. We nearly even up the kills on the board, nearly even up the gold on the board, and this game just about nearly evens up. As Saru Jassi continues to farm it out in the mid lane, and despite the fact that I picked this game for the Aurelia mid, we haven't actually talked too much about it. That early Destiny, as I said, was very pivotal, always very pivotal in a Twisted Fate lane, because his ulti is all about them rotations, all about the map control. It does very little else, gives you vision, that's about it. Whereas Aurelia's ultimate is quite good for the 1v1 dueling, so if he does get into a duel in the mid lane, he's not likely to win it, even though he does have a 2-kill lead, unless he can harass Aurelia down early. But we have a 3-man gank onto the Maokai here. Instant knock-up, instant displacement, turns right into a last breath. P-Line will buy as much time as he can. In fact, actually does some really good damage to Kakos, but he is just too mobile of a swordsman. And they are able to fell the tree. What do they give up for it, though? There are 3 people on the other side of the map from the other team. We might be seeing a similar situation down here with Backstrix. Ooh, nice dodge on the hook there. Does still get into flay range, though. Sufini has not given up on this kill. The heal, in fact, to chase it down. Backstrix is going to be going down underneath the turret to the explosive shot. Gold card follows Sunny through the jump, but he might have created enough distance anyway. Kakos is here. He does not have the ulti available, though. It was used earlier in the top lane gank. Knocks Sufini up. Still is able to follow up with it. Just the auto attack. That's all that's needed. No fancy ults or anything like this. Juju Mok Mok will fall down to his Julie. And now we have another dance underneath the turret. Perhaps some retribution for that level 1. The Hado will tank up a few shots before getting out of range. Sunny with the Ignite burning onto him is going to fall here unless he can lifesteal. No, the Doran's Blade is not enough. It was a long shot in the first place. And the bloodbath continues. Good lord, this fight. We have a teleport in from Shemek. Looking to make it continue even longer. Backstrix had time to die, come back, and pick up a double kill. That was the most elongated gank I have ever seen in bottom lane. And I've been casting for a year and a half now. And I think I can actually say with some confidence that is the most elongated gank I've ever seen. Not even just in the bottom lane, you know, I'll remove that qualifier. We'll go to the entirety of Summoner's Rift. That is the most elongated gank I've ever seen. As a result, Dragon will fall to red team, who begin to create a bit of a gap here. Been even almost up until this point. Juju playing some safe game there. Tossing down a pink ward. Backstrix. Oh! That is a painful hook. Painful to get that close to what would have been an incredibly easy kill. just about by a few pixels being denied. That is the beauty of a Callista, infinite kite ability. If you've got something to right-click on, or just something to toss your Q at. As Kakos does a very good job of protecting that minion with the wind wall, but can't protect it forever. Eventually it will die. Lands a knock-up, and Hado is coming in around from the side, trying to avoid Kakos potentially seeing him. It has been too late. The jig is up, but Kakos might not be able to escape anyways. He does have a lot of minions to dash through the minion wave to the other side. As a red buff, he's going to come back in and try and make use of that. Try and get a turnaround kill here, perhaps. But there's just too much CC and too much damage from the Maokai and Evelyn, respectively, and that will be shutdown gold. Going into the pockets of P-Line Shemek, who, now that I think about it, probably doesn't have any pockets. He's covered in moss and bark. Sufani was sitting on a ward. I don't see how he really thought that hook would connect, but you threw it anyway. You miss 100% of the hooks you don't throw. Heard that one from Michael Scott, if I recall correctly. Ooh, so close. I think he... Again, weird on that interaction. I think Nif actually did hit the headbutt, but it didn't knock him out of it that time, even though earlier in the bottom lane it did. Or did he headbutt a minion? I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to rewind the video, look over it yourself, and tell me in the comments. Please do let me know. I'm interested, but this is a live cast. I can't go back. There is no going back here. Constantly on. The engine is revving, and I am constantly moving forward, as is Sufani, looking potentially for a hook, but there are too many minions in the way. The ignite onto Juju. Saru Jesse, his name is difficult. He's looking for a kill, though. Doesn't quite get it, young Tauren. They're in time to defend his mid laner's honor and his mid laner's gold. He's going to keep him alive by summarily murdering anyone who tries to hurt him. It's an effective method. Don't knock it, it works. Hado is going to pick up all of that juicy farm, though. He's going to help him out quite a bit. Going for the Warrior Enchantment there. Not too surprising, a lot of Evelyns do go with that. The cooldown reduction is incredibly nice on Evelyn, and she does have some good AD ratios as well. It's a very efficiently built item on top of that, so nothing wrong with that choice. Speaking of item builds, Kakos is at the static shift, pretty much the core of any Yasuo build for the last few months. Used to be you'd sometimes rush Infinity Edge first, but there's the extra movement speed you get from static shift. It even makes it sort of a defensive item for Yasuo, because as you move, of course, you build up flow, and then that flow turns into shields, which is a way of preventing damage. That's how shields do. Theoretically, even boots are a defensive item for Yasuo, which is a very interesting mechanic. Yasuo is one of my favorite champions. A lot of people feel that he's a little bit too overloaded in his kit and perhaps too simple in his abilities. But, I don't know. I very much like the man. Kakos does not very much like the Evelyn, however. Takes a lot of damage as he passes by that bush in the jungle. Bottom lane turret will fall. That is the first of the game for red team, evening up that score. And if we are going to see a victory here from blue, who are slowly losing control of this game, it's going to have to be by taking advantage of their ability to rotate and scrap. Their ability to push down those turrets with the Tristana. They have a powerful mid-game spike coming up here once Trist does finish the Infinity Edge. And they have decent team fighting as well, though. I don't know if it's any better than red. Sunny's going to get knocked back after a flash pulverize turns into a headbutt in the wrong direction. He is slowed, and he is trying his best to get out of there. Actually, the Dark Passage will pull him to safety, as Shemek teleporting down is going to make this fight. Many more people are involved here than were initially expected to by either side. Kakos flashes forward, tosses out the knockup, but doesn't quite land. Nif now with the extra AD from his ulti will finally topple the Tristana. Kakos kiting his best back and forth away from the support and top laner, but you cannot kite away from a Maokai. He's just gonna click on you, advance in a very twisted fashion as Nif picks up another kill. The man is on a killing spree, and he might actually make it out alive here. Sufani just about gets his boots mobility up in time to catch up to Nif, flays him back for the slow and a little bit of extra damage. It looks like Nif is going to have to turn around and try and make a third kill happen for himself here. Sufani nearly goes down. The hook! The hook of destiny gets the kill. Point blank in his face. But speaking of destiny, here comes Twisted Fate to ruin all of their days. He has no mana left, but Dangerous Game will give him back a little bit. Just enough for another gold card, and he is in range for the stun, the ignite, and another auto attack with stacked deck. And he fills his coffers with a bit more gold. Torin is in trouble. That sounds like a kid's book, but he does make it over the wall to the raptor camp. Don't worry, kids. Torin made it out alive. Find out what happened last time and next time in the next episode of Challenger Casts with Octavian. Not sure where I was going with that. But Sunny is going to the mid lane, transitions, and going to try and push down this turret. This is what I was talking about earlier before I was so rudely interrupted by another front runner for longest gank I have ever seen. It started out as a 2v1. You won't believe what happened next. A lot of teleports. A lot of teleports happened next. You might actually believe that. Teleport is pretty common. And a Twisted Fate. There's a lot of global mobility in this game. Well, by a lot, I mean 3. There is 3 global mobility in this game. 3! Ha, ha, ha. I'm just a reference-making machine today. Red team is looking near the Dragon Pit. Looking to continue their monopoly on Drakes. And it looks like it's well in the bag for them. Sunny really wants to push up this mid lane. This is dangerous here, though. Those wild cards are starting to chunk. Young Torin is going to try and make him pay for his potential mistake. Sunny down to half health as Hado gets knocked off to the side, taking the Q. Yasuo goes right on in with his ulti, and that's going to be Backstrick picking up the kill at the end of it. Young Torin can make those ganks happen so swiftly, those engagements happen so swiftly. You have to watch out for that. Sunny with the Buster Shot might be able to keep himself alive. No, Juju, Moke Majuli picks up the kill. I love saying that. Every opportunity I get, I am saying his full name. Even if it interrupts the rest of the team fight that I'm supposed to be casting, because his name is Juju Moke Majuli. I mean, I get some great names while doing this, but that's got to be towards the top of the list right there. The inhibitor will fall 18 minutes into the game, and this match has swung disastrously for blue team in favor of red team. Magnificently for red team, you could say. But I'm a negative person. I like talking about the disaster, not the benefit that comes of it. P-line Shemek drops a ward just in time to see that his Gromp has fallen. Taking objectives big and small. Crab as well near the Baron Pit. Keeping that vision control up. As you can see in the minimap there, it is lit up all over the place. Little red triangles dot the rift. As Hado perhaps waits for the red buff to respawn. Doesn't really have too many effective places to go. All the lanes are pushed out already. All the jungle has been cleared, but for a wolf camp. He's just kind of wasting time down there. The Krugs did respawn. He managed to take that, thankfully. But he is getting starved for gold right here, whereas Torin has a good red buff to take. There wasn't Aurelia around, which was curious. Saru Jassy didn't have anywhere else to go, so was forced to run over into the enemy jungle to try and take something, but that is certainly not going to happen. It was a dangerous call, actually, to begin with. If Nif had roamed down, it might have ended up poorly for them, but thankfully Saru saw the danger and got out in time. And with super minions pushing up mid lane, we do at least have one avenue of reliable farm, I suppose. It comes at quite a cost, though. They do have to focus here in the mid lane. They do have to clear this out. It's a trading of pressure for farm. That is what taking an inhibitor is. You guarantee the enemy team is going to have the lane pushed into them. They're going to get that farm, but then again, the lane is guaranteed pushed into them. They have to deal with it, so you can go ahead and focus your efforts somewhere else on the map. As Shemek is going to be coming on into Torin, the hook lands as well. Hado is there for some damage. Saruchison comes from the side. That is a very deadly sin, ladies and gentlemen. A ward hop to the wolf camp is not going to be saving his bacon. However, top lane is definitely going to fall. Aurelia was nearby. Looked at it with forlorn longing. I wanted to save you, my friend. You were a reliable tower during the laning phase. Never did you do me wrong, but I must let you fall. But that is a very, very scary Callista. And she has a cow with her, of all things. She could throw her cow at me. I don't want to go anywhere near anyone who can throw a cow at me. Oh, that's the ulti down for Shemek for the duration of this duel, really. Here comes the Destiny to the bottom lane. Red card, actually, onto the minion wave. Juju Mokmok, you are letting me down, my friend. Chase does continue, though. Knock up on Kakos, followed into the last breath, and here's the gold card, but he got minion blocked. No, Juju Mokmok Majuli. He got minion blocked. Some bad juju right there. As the Hadao gets chased off to the side. Nice headbutt against the longer part of the wall there. Angled that perfectly. Could have knocked him over the wall. Just about got him at the edge where he wouldn't be thrown into an unchaseable position. So they chunk away more than half his health. Sufini was around to save him, but that's still quite a good trade for them. However, this might not be such a good one. Nif forced to pop the Unbreakable Will early on. Backstrix does turn around with the help of his super tank Alistar. Brings down the kill into the overzealous Thresh, who chased a little bit too far. Now Tauren making moves into the bottom lane. On to Shemek. Doesn't want to tower dive onto a Maokai, though. Not solo. And not while he still has more than half his health, and I can understand that decision. It does make sense. He will push with the minion wave, though, apply some pressure there, and as I said, they've been forced to send people mid lane. They had Sunny just sitting mid lane, farming that out. He did get a good amount of gold for his efforts. He's got actually more CS than Backstrix does at this point, but that doesn't really matter, as turret after turret are falling all over the map. This global pressure is way too much. They're trying the best they can to do something. They do at least clean up one kill here. Blade of the Ruined King will give Kakos the speed he needs to escape from this vengeful maelstrom around this vengeful tree. Sarujasi, I don't think you want to chase that far into the jungle. This might be bad here. Kakos does have the ulti off of Nif's knockup. Too deep, my friend. Far too deep did you go. If you go in the jungle today, be sure of a big surprise. That is a evil, evil cow lurking around the corner, waiting to knock you right into a Yasuo ulti. And Sunny is rotating to the bottom lane, looking to just pick up as much farm as he can, trying to gather gold while this game stalls out, but it is rapidly disintegrating, and I don't think the few waves of farm that he's picked up as a result of this are going to make the difference against the pressure that red team has been laying down all over the place. Gives them a Baron. Crab for good measure. Aren't you supposed to have the crab before the meal? It's usually crab legs or something. You have them as a appetizer, not as a dessert. After the Baron, flash onto Hadao. Zoni's Hourglass as Juju McMoke Julie. I can't even say it now. I'm way too excited. So many things are happening. Backstrix picks up the kill. The explosive shot doesn't quite bring down Juju. Knock up onto Shemek. Kakos does not choose to go in onto it, mainly because he can't. Ult is down. With a Baron buff, with no turret, and with backup on the way, Kakos is not going to get this inhibitor because he's backing away from the Maokai. Nope, never mind. No, he's gonna get it. He just decided to take a little bit of a breather. It's difficult to right-click on an inhibitor. You gotta take a break sometimes. Dragon is going to fall here. The Blind Monk, more than a match for the Drake. But he brings some friends along for the fun anyways. Where's the fun in killing a dragon unless you do it with some friends? And now with the majority of global objectives in their hands, with the map nearly picked clean, red team will head bottom lane. This might be the final stand here for blue. This is an awkward place to do it. You never really want to defend when you're this far behind at this turret, as Sarajasi finds out. Knocked up into the air and made short work of by a few spears and a rend. His turret will definitely fall. Sunny actually does get hit by the Q. The kick is sound played. I didn't see him fly anywhere. I don't know. It's still up. So many weird interactions today. Tauren. Yeah, the sound file played for the Dragon's Rage there, but it didn't actually go off. So Sunny managed to knock a cut out. Oh! Beautiful play! Ah, Sunny took the Dark Passage right when young Torin tried to flash behind him at the same time that he was kicking, and he would have knocked him back into the team, would have gotten that pick guaranteed. But the Dark Passage got him to a point where the kick knocked him the wrong direction. Baxtrix is on a killing spree, though. It doesn't seem to matter. The flashy plays aside, blue team is still losing kill after kill here, fight after fight. Off to the side, we see Sunny is cleaning up 1 or 2 kills, but it doesn't really matter. The Nexus turrets are under fire by 3 minion waves and a super's worth of Baron buffed minions. Alistair is laughing in their face for good reason. That is GG in a 26-minute game. Thank you all for watching. My name is Octavian, and I will see you next time.